welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dr. Sarah Lynn. I'm a naturopathic doctor, and in today's video, I'm going to be trying intermittent fasting for 1 week. I'm going to be doing the 16-8 method, so that means I'll be fasting for 16 hours and then eating within an 8-hour time window. I think there can be a lot of great health benefits from having a restrictive diet of some sort or restrictive time eating. I think the word restrictive gets a lot, like it has a bad connotation for a lot of people. The word itself literally just means to confine within bounds or to set a limit on something or to keep something under control. And of course, there can be times where something being restrictive could be bad or unhealthy or undesirable. But when we're talking about food, and just with the amount of different food choices there are here in the United States, especially a lot of them being poor food choices, I think it's good to set some sort of restriction and bounds on what you're eating. And the fact is, I think you can do this in a really healthy way and a healthy mindset. So I kind of want to talk about that perspective. I don't know, I think overall our society as a whole is a little bit soft and we don't like challenging ourselves that much, and if something doesn't automatically come easy or like feel good in the moment, that we just revert to like, oh, intuitive eating or only doing the things that like make you feel good in the moment. I think there's a lot of importance to like challenging yourself and getting out of that comfort zone. And in the US, I think it's also, a lot of people don't really know what it feels like to be that hungry, like the normal average person that is on YouTube watching videos. Like if you're watching videos or creating them, you're already somewhat privileged because you have internet access and you have a device to watch these on. So I'm talking about those people. I think it's good to like set bounds and like goals for yourself if you want to be like the healthiest version of yourself, and you know, the foods that you eat and are able to digest, like you are those foods, and that's going to have an impact in your, obviously your physical health, but like your mental and emotional health and like your relationships too, what you're fueling your body with and how you show up and love your body through like the foods you eat and the things you consume is really important. That has a big impact on your life and the people that you relate with and have relationships with. With intermittent fasting, like it can be really hard at the beginning, and it's something that your body kind of has to get used to if you've never done it before. I don't know, I feel like people are just want to be in their comfort zone with what they're eating, and it's hard to change your diet. It's definitely hard to change your diet, and it can be hard to fast, but there can be a lot of benefits for your health and like physical and mental, emotional, and it's not really that long amount of time to go without food, and your body definitely can handle it for most people. Not everyone. There is a caveat, you know, like in my disclaimer, just people who are pregnant or breastfeeding, you have to be more careful and cautious, and as well as those, of course, with an eating disorder or disordered eating. I'm not saying that everyone should just try it. There definitely are people that would struggle with it, and they could get into a negative mindset where they're trying to control it too much, and that can be triggering for an eating disorder. But otherwise, for the average like American who doesn't have an eating disorder, disordered eating, I think it's something that you definitely can try and get through, and it's okay for it to be a little bit uncomfortable, but you can like push yourself past that. You gotta use that mental willpower and challenge yourself, and you can do it, and you're gonna be okay. And I think we need to like toughen up a little bit sometimes. But that's just me, that's just my tough love. So I'm gonna continue on with the video, and we'll see you at the next check-in. Good morning, everyone. It is now just about 9 o'clock, and we've started the Dermatology Conference virtually. The next lecture I'm really excited for. It's talking about food allergies and food sensitivities in dermatological diseases. So that one I'm super excited for.
There's been really dramatic change in our food supply, especially with genetic modification and selective breeding. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So in today's wheat, a modern wheat is called dwarf wheat, and it has about 40 times as much gluten. This is regulated by your tight junctions, which are the transmembrane protein complexes made of claudin, agglutinin, and zonulin. And if the tight junctions are disrupted, then you actually have increased intestinal permeability, which can allow translocation of harmful substances into the bloodstream.
It's now 12:15 and I'm just breaking my fast with some lunch here. I have just the leftover curry with some jasmine white rice, and then I topped on avocado this time. And then I'm also going to be sipping on this coconut sparkling drink from Trader Joe's, a new flavor I haven't tried. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep listening to the lectures here. Definitely kept busy with all the lectures, really great information. So we'll see you later. It's now Saturday morning and I'm just doing the second day of my virtual dermatology conference. Yeah, we're on a little break for the conference and I have my water here that I'm sipping on, and then I also had a cup of coffee this morning. And I'd say that I actually have pretty good energy. The morning sessions here of my conference, I would have maybe thought I would have been a little bit more tired or felt a little lower energy, but I feel really great, really mentally clear as well. Yesterday, I fasted from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. So I started my fast last night at 8. And I did have some ice cream after dinner, a small little bowl of it, and I definitely kind of feel the effects of that this morning. I just felt kind of a little bit blah, kind of, and just kind of like more redness in my skin. So yeah, I think my plan today is to break the fast again at 12. It's gonna kind of vary depending on when I get a lunch break with my conference. But yeah, overall feeling good. And I will say that it's definitely getting easier for me to keep doing the intermittent fasting. I feel like I'm kind of getting into more of a routine now with it. Like I don't know, I kind of just know that's for the mornings what's going to happen. And then at nighttime, it really hasn't been as hard as I initially would have thought. That habit has broken faster just because I feel like I eat a pretty good amount for dinner, so I'm pretty full still. And then the mornings kind of it drags on a little bit more, but not too bad. I'm going to get back to my conference here and we'll check in with you later. Good morning! Today is now Sunday and it's the last day of my virtual conference. This is my third year attending the Integrative Dermatology Symposium and it's my favorite conference of the whole year. We're on a little bit of a break right now. I just have my coffee here and I did put in some creamer this morning. We had a 7 a.m. yoga class and I just wanted a little bit of coffee with creamer after that to get myself ready for the rest of the conference. It's been really great. We did a lot of lectures on eczema, psoriasis, acne, rosacea, and then today we're getting a little bit more into hair loss and hidradenitis suppurativa. And it's just been a really great conference and I'm excited to share all this new research that I'm learning in some upcoming videos. So be sure to stay tuned for that. All right, we'll see you when I have my lunch. So here's my lunch for today. I'm just having a bunch of fruit with some yogurt and granola. And I have about an hour lunch break from my conference, so I'm just packed up my lunch for the pool. Hi everyone, so it is now almost 7:30 and I finished my dinner about an hour ago. I had my leftover curry with jasmine rice and cilantro, and I also did a little avocado. And then I did have this little bowl of cereal for dessert. But I'm full from that, but I'm still kind of craving something sweet like chocolate or dessert. But yeah, I'm not gonna have any of that. One, I don't have anything at home, so that makes it easier. And yeah, it's past the time that I want to be eating, and it's just a craving. Like I'm full right now. That craving is still there. So I'm gonna take a shower, and then I think I'm gonna make some tea, and then kind of just have a relaxing chill night. That's basically the last full day of my intermittent fasting, and then I'll do my fasting in the morning as well, and then break my fast in the morning, and I'll do the final check-in and overview and takeaway points from this whole challenge. So we'll see you in the morning. For my breakfast lunch here, I'm just having some avocado toast with homemade gluten-free sourdough bread and then homemade sauerkraut as well as homemade sprouts. Super delicious. I've now completed my 1-week intermittent fasting challenge, and so now I'm just gonna share with you my final thoughts and takeaways. So first of all, I would say I like intermittent fasting overall, and I like the experience of it. I do think it really helped improve my digestion and my bloating. It was a little bit challenging in the beginning, I would say, and that's kind of something to be expected if you've never done any sort of fasting at all or intermittent fasting. It does take a little bit of time for your body to adjust and get used to a new sort of feeding and fasting window. If you are trying intermittent fasting for the first time, give yourself a little bit of time to get used to it before totally rolling it out as something that could be beneficial for you. And then another thing that I liked about intermittent fasting was I do think it really helped me break those habits of eating food after dinner in the evenings. Most of the time during the nighttime, I actually wasn't hungry, and it was just because I was in the habit of wanting to snack on something sweet or salty or yummy. Moving forward, what I would want to do is to still continue not eating any snacks or food after dinner, but maybe not be as strict on the time and be like, I have to finish eating by this time, but just kind of let it happen when it naturally does. And naturally, I usually end up stop eating by 8 p.m. and so I don't think that'd be a problem. Another thing with the eating time window, as you probably noticed in my video, you don't have to have it be the exact same like 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. time of eating. You can adjust that a little bit, especially on the weekends if you're going to be out doing something with friends or family and you want to be able to have something later on in the evening. Just make sure that you're still trying to stick to that same amount of time of fasting. So like, say if you wanted to be eating till 9 or 10 p.m., then you would break your fast that morning later in the day. So instead of breaking it at 12, you would break it at 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., knowing you want to eat later that night. I found too that I was able to practice more mindful eating while I was doing intermittent fasting, and when I broke my fast in the mornings and I had that first bite of my meal, that I really was more focused on just eating, and I wasn't trying to multitask while I was eating, and just really savoring my food. And with mindful eating, a way to practice that is to just be mindful of what you're doing, and you can pay attention to the smell of the food before you eat it, and then when you do take a bite, just notice how it tastes, how's the texture, and to really just appreciate your food more and have food that's really gonna nourish your body and make you feel good in the moment and afterwards. And then, so I already mentioned that my digestion and bloating felt better. I didn't notice a lot of other changes and effects in that time period. I didn't really notice any like huge improvements in energy or quality of sleep for me. I mean, usually my energy and sleep is pretty good. And then I did measure my weight before, and then here's my weight after at the end of the week, and my weight really didn't change at all. I didn't lose any weight, and that's another thing that I just wanted to touch on, that if you're trying intermittent fasting for weight loss, which it does have those benefits of, it usually takes longer than a week, and studies show it takes more around 2, 3, or 4 weeks to actually start losing a little bit of weight. And that's just because your body needs to have an adjusting period where it gets more used to burning less carbohydrates and more fats, and that kind of conversion in the body can take a little bit longer, although some people of course do lose weight sooner. So just be like patient with yourself and try not to focus too much on like losing weight and like losing pounds each day, but just focus on like how it makes you feel. Notice your relationship with food. Are you actually hungry? What are your hunger signals actually like? And noticing how you feel in your body. My final takeaway points is that if you are interested in trying intermittent fasting, and that's maybe why you're watching this video, to just give it a try for a week, see how you feel. You might hate it, or you might really like it. And just know that first week it could be hard if you've never done any fasting. Maybe that second week of doing it you might enjoy it more and you might start feeling better. You might lose a little bit more weight. Another thing too is that if you are interested in doing if you're interested in doing a longer fast, like a 24-hour fast or 48, 3-day water fast, that intermittent fasting can be a really great introduction into fasting, because you do kind of realize like how your body feels when it's on more of an empty stomach, and that's going to make the 24-hour fasting a little bit easier. If you have any questions about intermittent fasting, please leave a comment down below. I try to respond to most of my comments when I have the chance. And also, if you enjoyed this video and found something useful or entertaining, then please go ahead and give it a like, because it really does support my channel and makes it possible for me to keep producing videos. So yeah, that's going to be it. I hope you have a beautiful day, and we'll see you in the next video.